my core responsibility is technology and digital roadmap with a present focus. Then application development, develop operations, IT operation, cyber security and information security, IT governance, compliance, audit, and risk management. These are the core things. And comes my strategy planning also. As head of IT, it's my duty to see that what kind of strategy we apply to get things moving. These are the few things which we handle. Other than that, we have other day-to-day IT operations and all that, which is part of our day-to-day job. This financial, especially 2021, we had major security deployments because we are a mobile-driven, digital-driven company. So we use a lot of mobile apps. So for that, the main core was mobile device management implementation, BOYD, bring in your own device concept, then DMARC to protect your mails from whaling, phishing attacks, and the major was your firewall implementation across all the branches. Okay, these are the few very, very crucial things which implemented. And second thing is to achieve these milestones. First, we were looking at we had selected a very good vendor. The vendor has to place a major role in the complete project execution. Then and defined project timelines, defined project plan and a tough timelines along with the team equipped with relevant tools so that, while executing, they don't come back and start petting. And more than that, periodic reviews and mentoring and guidance of the team is very important for any project to be successful. So it is a team, guidance, then your vendor. Three things which makes your project very thing. And we were able to achieve these milestones before the target is. Where you're working from home, you don't know what kind of devices, what kind of network you're working, then data coming from multiple sources, uncertainty of what kind of metrics you have to present to the board, and convincing the board, getting the budget approval for new implementation with a short span, because COVID-19 was not a pre-planned activity. It just came in and it is taken over the globe. So we are not predicted anything as such. So get things moving. So budgeting approvals, then communication to the internal team and training. These are the major challenges as a CISO and as a CIO or a head of IT we play, which we go through in the last 6 months' time, and especially getting the incident, when there is an incident, and reporting the incident, getting the incident back, protecting your data, security is playing a major role for. And these are the few challenges which we face, but there's a big list, laundry list, which cannot be upfront. We are a housing finance company. We come under RBI and NHB. So we are a regulated company. As a process, we're supposed to set up a BCP and a DR plan and keep. Okay, it is not used. It is basically just on papers, and technically it's available on the globe. And as and when we do, it's just a drill we do and keep it ready. But this pandemic which is created had really made BCP as a new normal. All these days, BCP was a regulatory requirement and a compliance and audit requirement. But today, the last 6 months, I can see we had used the BCP plan to the maximum, because when you're working from home, you work from multiple networks, and there was a limitation of the support team coming to the data center. So the only option for us was to use BCP. So BCP has played a major role in this pandemic time, and it is a new normal. Now BCP, you cannot consider BCP as an audit or on paper document. It's a requirement. It's part of your day-to-day life, and you see that you are ready with everything, and BCP should always be available to us. Digital technologies will not play a vital role in the present liquidity crunch and NPAs what we are having. Yes, when you look at liquidity as a process, thing, it's a global hit everywhere, especially in India. When I look at the economy thing, last 2 years there was a major liquidity crunch, where we had to cut short on the business. But to overcome this, there was no technology as built. It's more of an how we are going to get the funds, how we are going to use the funds what you have, that thing. And when you talk about NPAs, yes, NPAs we use technology to certain limit. That is when you are trying to acquire the customer, when you are trying to access his credit worthiness, whether his worth is going to stay there. But if a customer first 5 years he pays the EMI properly, and the next 6th year he starts bouncing back, there we cannot do anything. So NPA for digital technology plays for NPA only at a very 10 to 15% of role. But otherwise, NPA is more of it's a natural disaster kind of thing. It can happen anytime. It can happen after 5 years, it can happen after 10 years. As every organization, we are also facing a lot of challenges when it comes to security of world. Because from example, I always take COVID as my example, because from March, suddenly on 24th, when we were called in for a lockdown, we didn't know what to do. We were all acute, we were all tailored and kept. Yes, we come to the corporate office, we come to the branches, we start working, and few people work on mails. But when we had to actually really required, when you started working from home, there were major challenges which we had to come. So we had to work overnight. We had faced a lot of security challenges like phishing attacks, whaling attacks of mails, and ransomware attacks were there, but not to that extent where we were taken over. There were few security challenges which we faced during the pandemic, and we were able to overcome that also because we had, as a regulated company, we always plan certain things and keep. So to overcome that, we were using certain tools to get things moving. When I say cyber liability assessment, I can always say it is cyber liability insurance, because when you say assessment, it is more of an insurance. So you, as an organization, you should have a cyber insurance, which is very, very important, because cyber insurance covers many of your things, your data breach, your ransomware attacks, and there are certain expenses which is unexpected. So that's where your cyber insurance. So cyber insurance plays a major role, and it is very, very important with the present situation where we have ransomware, data breach, data theft, and all kind of, or any kind of natural disaster which happens, to recover your data. We as organizations have already planned for it, and a lot of assessment have been done, and we're working with a lot of other insurance companies to get our data insured, data as well as the asset IT infrastructure insured, so that tomorrow if there's any kind of issues, we try to recover the cost, not the data, but recover the cost which we have spent on that. So that is one of the norms now. As for the stakeholders are concerned, in a regulated organization like us, we have stakeholders. Basically, we have a steering committee and executive committee. These are the two committees which is governed by the board of directors, MD and CEO, and the CFO. So these are the gentlemen who plays a major role in any kind of data breach or ransomware attack, and insurance comes. And these people are solely responsible for taking decisions and giving us go ahead in any kind of these kind of activities. So the stakeholders are more of board of directors, MD, and CFO's office. And CISO as a CIO and CISO as a person, it's my responsibility to see that I get things moving. Art Housing Finance as an organization is more on mobility platform. We were one of the first housing finance in India to have a mobile-based customer acquisition and give an in-principle approval at the doorstep of it. Because in a housing loan company, you normally have n number of papers, forms to be filled. Whereas we developed an app which was helping us. Artificial intelligence and analytics is very important for us. We are more at the initial stages. We were in discussion, we were closing certainty, but due to pandemic, then we had to put it on hold. As far as IoT and blockchain is concerned, IoT we are not looking at right now. Blockchain we may be looking at because in India, blockchain is not so matured as such, because it's more of a ledger sharing. So it is not matured as such. So we are still looking at, and AI and analytics are in the pipeline to come up. You have to have a network in such a way that you can work from anywhere. It is no more a norm that you got to come to your office and work. It's work from anywhere. So it's not only work from home, it's work from anywhere. So basically there are three very important things which I look at it. One is the device level security. In case you are using your device, you see how we are going to secure your device without compromising on the privacy of an individual. Second thing is what kind of application should be given to whom. So that you go to very, very clearly segregate who has to have what. Not everyone shouldn't have everything. So that has to be segregation of duty should be there, segregation of role should be there, and every person, every user, every employee of that particular organization is responsible for the security of the company. Security is not only the CISO or the CIO's job. It is every individual who has to take the responsibility, and every individual plays a vital role. So these are three important things for us if you look at work from home or any kind of devices you're working for. And this will be my kind of thing, because there are very senior most CISOs in the industry. But from my side, this is what I think, and this is my submission to all the CISOs going forward.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.